Greetings and salutations, everyone. We are finally back with a new episode of Three Men and an Anime. Huzzah.
One of these days, I am actually going to time it so I get to say something absolutely ridiculous before you put in that intro.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
I'm saying, and that's how I started my career in porn, when the recording started.
But you've said it now, so here you go. There you go. At any rate, this is Peter Bowman, and as always, I'm joined by my good friends and co-hosts, Eric Carlson and Gav Leaf. Gentlemen, how are you doing tonight?
Doing all right.
I have had a day of stupid, and I am looking forward to this.
Excellent. This week, we are covering Eric's most recent series selection, which is, it's not technically an anime, but fuck it, we're doing it. So, we're covering Arcane.
Yes.
Good. I'm going to say this.
I know it's not not an anime.
Nope.
Shut up. Nobody cares.
Yes, exactly. You can, if you want
Gravity Falls. Fuck you.
Technically, we made that a special episode, but
Well, we did, yeah.
we covered that because, well, I wanted to make these clowns watch it, and
we're thoroughly glad that you did.
yes, well, you should be. It's good. And Eric basically, I think this is a similar case, but this time we decided, fuck it, we'll make a mainline episode because screw it. I'm tired of this special episode bullshit.
Pretty much, yeah.
So we invite your complaints that this is not actually anime. We'll ignore them.
Yeah.
We're aware.
It's a
we take
narrative.
that under advisement, and we'll talk to the committee about it.
Yeah.
Committee just got back. They don't care.
It's an overarching narrative using animation. There. Done.
Yes, if we feel like, in general, we focus on stuff from Japan. But you know what? Every now and then, there's something we want to do that's not. So that's... There you go.
It even involves teenage protagonists in a fantasy world.
It does.
Come on.
Yeah. If you want to argue the point, meet me on Twitter. God knows I will argue.
Don't volunteer for that, Gav.
It gets me through the day. It's cathartic, man.
Okay, fine. Don't argue with me. I'll just ignore you and block you.
Yes.
I invite you to find me on Twitter and argue with me.
That will be an amazing challenge if you can find Eric on Twitter. I volunteer Eric to argue with people on Twitter.
I will argue before it all burns to the ground.
Yeah, fair point.
It's already been burned to the ground.
Technically not. It's sort of still smoldering a bit. Anyways, we're covering Arcane. This is the animated production. There's only one season out so far. Apparently, they're working another season, which means it will be out sometime in the near 3 or 4 years from now, probably.
In the next decade, yeah.
Yeah.
Given how long
this
show took a long time to make, and you can tell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see, the thing with this show is it was, what's the word? Ordered, I suppose?
Mm-hmm.
Picked up by Netflix. And Riot have a lot of money. So basically, they agreed between themselves that this wouldn't have a deadline as such.
Yep.
This would be ready when it is ready.
Yep.
We're not bothered about making a profit. God knows we can do that anytime we like.
Yeah.
But Netflix, this is going to get you your views. Don't worry about it. It'll be worth the wait.
Yeah. So technically speaking...
You say they're not worried about making a profit, but it made a lot of money.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It costs a fair bit, but you know what?
It shows.
Yeah, again, it shows. Yeah, so, there are people making arguments. So see what you could do if you just put the time and effort into an animated series. See how the animation could look, great the animation could look. Not talking about the fact the time was many, many, many years, and the money and the effort was also involved a truckload of money.
Yeah.
This show really is, in terms of time and budget, we're talking full animated feature, period of time work and such.
Absolutely.
Easily.
Yeah. And it shows. It's impressive in every way.
Legitimately, the last animated thing I watched that was this well animated was probably Akira.
Yeah.
I don't think this thing hit the level where the moments when Akira basically goes, yeah, we're going to animate this at 24 frames a second because we're fucking insane.
Or Mad Men.
Mad
Men in the 80s and were fueled entirely on cocaine.
And money. Lots of money.
Yeah, so just to put it...
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, just to put a cap on that, I think I found it when we were watching it, but I found it again. So, supposedly there's no official budget anywhere, but going by all estimations, it took 6 years to make 9 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And it cost somewhere... we're basically talking $100 million plus.
Yeah. As I said, we're talking like full animated features.
9 digits. Yeah, we're talking a lot of money.
and you can tell it is gorgeous. It is beautifully animated. The cinematography is mind blowing sometimes.
The voice acting is top notch.
Absolutely.
Yep. They have some A-listers in there for the voice work.
And the score is incredible. Like, honestly, like, they got Imagine Dragons for the intro song, and that might be the weakest piece of music in the show.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fine.
It's a weird. I was thinking about this earlier today. Actually, Imagine Dragons are one of those that I never listened to their album for music, but they make incredible backing songs for videos and intros and that kind of thing. The fact that they do all the League of Legends promotional stuff.
Yep.
Like, their music just fits it to a T. Like, there was no other band that could do the intro to this show.
Not from the United States, at least. Like, I imagine there might have been a K-pop band or two that probably could have done it.
Yeah, probably.
But like, that's I mean, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan of Imagine Dragons. I'm not a fan of K-pop. But I mean, I'll tip my hat to the talent.
I'm pretty sure Dragon Force could have done it. I think that would have had exactly the same sort of feel. And yeah, Dragon Force would have done it. Fire and the Flames for the opening, definitely.
That been a very different opening.
Yes.
Beats sync up perfectly. Clearly,
yes. Now I will say flat, like, I'm not a big fan. The song "Enemy" is fine, but it's the least interesting song to me in the show. Like I thought the score was absolutely brilliant the rest of the way through.
Yeah.
I'll say this: like, there are a bunch of Imagine Dragons songs in here that I now like because I associate them with this song.
That's fair.
With this show.
Sure.
I've had that thing, like, stuff I normally wouldn't like, I now associate it with a thing I really like.
Yep.
Therefore, it gets the sort of bleed over.
Yeah, sure. No, like, as I said, like, I can't, like, mentally pick out a particular song from the show other than Enemy with the opening theme song. And
the opening, yeah.
And that's like, yeah, it was fine. It did its job.
I will say that it does what a good soundtrack should do. In some places, at the very least, it's literally just assisting the scene. It's background music, where it fades in and you don't really notice it's there, but you'd miss it if it wasn't.
Oh yeah, no, I'm certain that it, like, the score definitely carried the appropriate emotions for the scenes properly, like, consistently. It was a very well scored show, like, absolutely, no question.
Yeah.
No, again, like, the production on this series is top notch across the board. So where could it fall down? It fell down in the writing, right? Oh wait, no.
No, didn't. The writing was great. Holy shit.
Wait. Like, I will also say this. Like, honestly, for me, I think my enjoyment of the series was hurt a little bit by the fact I know anything at all about League of Legends.
Yeah, I know nothing about League of Legends other than it is a terrible cesspit of it and an unfun game. So.
No, come on, Eric. You've been around. You've been around. This kind of stuff long enough. It's not the game's fault. It's the fan base.
I also just don't like that genre of music at all.
Yeah, MOBA,
so, not music. Game.
Yeah. MOBAs, yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm not a MOBA guy,
and that's fair. Neither am I, really. So I played it long enough to realize I don't like this game anymore. I don't really like this game. I should probably not play it. And I stopped playing it, and I'm better. I'm happier for that. I stuck around with another MOBA for a while because mechanically I enjoyed it more, which was Smite, because I like the first-person shooter stuff better. Yeah. Like, the first-person, like, first/third-person, like, I like over-the-shoulder moving around mouse keyboard. Yeah, I can do this. Oh, wait, I don't like the genre either. Oh.
Yeah.
I should probably stop playing.
Yeah, this is kind of a prequel of sorts to League of Legends, to the story that you may be familiar with. We're basically building connections and relationships that are then detailed. You read the character biopsies in the actual game. This is like a starting portion of where a lot of that came from. It doesn't include everyone, obviously. There's a few Easter eggs and little things snuck in. But a lot of these characters are very much not what you expect from the game. Mm-hmm. Like, Heimerdinger is one of the major characters in here. He's not running around throwing turrets everywhere. That's not his role. It's him as a person, not as a combatant.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of assumed Heimerdinger was a playable character, and I'm like, okay, so how does this translate in the game? You know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
I like watching this adorable little fuzzball the opposite of a mad scientist, actually.
He's a sensible scientist.
He's to the point of detriment, honestly.
Mhm.
Like, I like watching him run around and be a friendly foil to the other two scientists in the show.
Mm-hmm. And he's learned something of a lesson by the end of the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oddly enough, I think it actually might lead him into developing into what we see in League of Legends. But yeah,
It's a more active role in things. Therefore, machine guns everywhere.
basically.
No, like I will say flatly, like they did a really nice job with all of the characters.
Yeah. The thing that impresses me the most, that if you're not a League of Legends fan, as Eric just said there, you're never quite sure which characters are from the game and which aren't. They don't shine up the ones that you're supposed to recognize. Everyone's equal in this. Yes, there are some main ones, Vi and Jinx are the leads.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the Jinx video from 1,000 years ago because that's a catchy little song. And,
which is actually brought up in this.
My cosplay to know that she's got giant mecha fists. That must be that character from the thing. Okay.
Yeah. So there's probably about a dozen characters from the actual game in and around.
I couldn't tell you who they were.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the point. So yeah, you can't pick them out if you're not a thing. There are even some characters that you think, who is he? And you spend your entire time thinking he's going to be someone. No, he's not. They're absolutely willing to not make a mockery and just like jam all their own characters in. They're willing to say that not everyone ends up in Summoner's Rift. Not everyone ends up in the game in the battles. There are other people in people's lives,
and not everyone from like the other parts of League of Legends and are in this part of the world at this time.
Yeah, if you know the lore, this is literally just Piltover.
Yep.
And then what becomes Zon?
I don't know the lore, and I don't care.
That's fine.
Like Noxus gets.
I don't know the lore. I don't know the differences here, and then I realized, no, wait, I don't care. The show's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't need the lore of the show. I've got the lore of the show.
Right.
I don't need the lore of the game. I have the lore of the show.
No, absolutely. Yeah. They do. That's the thing. They do a good enough job in the show of explaining and showing you what you need to know to understand what's going on in the show.
Yeah.
Which is all you fucking need.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for the people who are League of Legends fans, from what I can tell, all the characters that that are in the game all make sense within the context of the show as being, that's how that that drives that character. Yep, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
I can't think of any that wouldn't, but like again, I don't know League of Legends that well, so. So, right. Anyways, go on. So the show is
the meat of the show.
Yeah, the meat of the show. The show is largely centered around the relationship, like a couple of major relationships. One of them is Jinx and her sister Vi.
Yep.
Another important one is Victor and Jace, and Heimerdinger to a degree. Those are sort of the two main sort of and also later than Vi and Caitlyn? Yeah.
Caitlyn, yeah. There's a little bit of like Caitlyn and Jason there.
Yes, Caitlyn sort of links
and why can't I remember her name? She's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
the counselor. Shit.
Yeah.
So basically, as the show goes on, there are pairings of stories going around, and as the show progresses, pairs split up and repair, so to speak. So like you say, it starts off with Jace and Caitlyn, alongside Jace and Victor. Jace and Victor runs all the way through basically, but Jace and Caitlyn, and then about the third a third of the way through, the Jace and Caitlyn bit stops and it becomes Caitlyn and Vi, and and Jace goes with the counselor.
Midara.
Madara, yes.
Madara.
They've always got somebody to play off.
I think she's great.
Yeah. Everyone's always got somebody to play off of, to bounce off of, basically.
So yeah, it's the show is largely split into three arcs.
Yep.
Which there's a time skip after the first one. The first arc largely centers around Vi and Powder as kids, growing up in like trying to get by in the shithole that is the lanes, the
Undercity.
goes by a bunch of names. The lanes, the trenches,
Undercity.
Undertown.
Yeah, I think Undercity is the main name for it, if I remember.
Lower. I think the higher ups in Piltover refer to it as the lower city.
That's what it was. Yeah, there we go.
Which is a very nice way of
along
saying...
with their adoptive dad, Vander.
Vander is amazing.
Who's and we sort of see the relationship as it stands in this early one between what becomes Zorn and Piltover. It's tense, and they largely try to keep out of each other's ways. Vander's largely sort of not officially in charge, but he's de facto in charge of the lanes.
Everyone respects him enough that no one goes against Vander. Basically,
everyone respects him. Everyone, no one does anything without double checking him. Generally. And yeah, he's got to deal with the sheriff of Piltover. To basically, he keeps their shit out of Piltover. Piltover keeps their enforcers out of the lanes. This deal is so incredibly down on the down low. No one but those two know about it, and that's by design.
Yeah,
because it would be open revolt on both sides if anyone did.
Yeah. Yeah, neither side would would like this, other than like, you know, the two have arranged it like, yeah, if things go the way it was going before, it would just be awful.
Right.
Yeah.
This keeps things not at least at a tolerable level of awful.
Yeah.
Right.
It's also true that, you know, the lanes especially is... I mean, there's a little bit of it, but it's more foppish up in the upper city, but in the lower city especially, it's very much almost gang warfare kind of situation. It's like, Vander's in charge, and everyone respects him because they know not to fuck with him.
Yeah.
The second that, like, Vander's position would become, you know, less stable or less secure, somebody will try and move in.
Yeah. No, Vander's there. He's respected. He's secure. But he can never appear weak, or some hyena is going to come in and backbite him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder if that happens in the show.
No, never.
Up top in Piltover, you've got Jace researching Magitech, which is super illegal. Fact, the exciting, isn't it, is Vi, Powder, and their little gang of found siblings burgle an apartment, which has to be Jace's, where they fuck up an experiment, which causes everything to explode.
Yeah, so a bit of, for those that don't know, Piltover is basically an engineer and an engineer's town and science and all that kind of stuff. So they call themselves the city of progress, which is fucking ironic. But basically, it's all about you know, engineering, scientific advancement, all that kind of stuff. No magic.
Well, that's what they say. That's what they. But like, it is so very much about like. They're very upper crust. They're very. No,
it's very what the City of Progress thing was what it used to be, and then it gentrified and stultified.
Oh, you mean like the UK that had the you know, the Industrial Revolution and started to invent and lead the world and all that kind of stuff, and then kind of just stagnated into capitalism when they realized they could ship and.
No, never. That would never happen, Gav. What are you talking about?
That sounds ridiculous. Why would anything like that happen? That has no historical basis whatsoever.
No. We could have been so good, then we got greedy.
I mean, I wouldn't say you were a good dude. The whole like colonization of the entire planet was not so good.
I mean, it could be worse. You could be speaking French.
That's true. I could be speaking French.
Anyways, more importantly.
Yeah.
Well, more on topically, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the status quo is kind of shattered by Vi and her little crew.
Entirely by accident.
Oh, they didn't mean to shatter the status quo. Not even a
No,
little
they were
bit.
just looking for a score.
They went to the Upper City. They found some stuff they wanted. They heard there were some things they could steal in the Upper City. They went. They stole some stuff from the Upper City, and some of the stuff they stole was very much stuff they should not have stolen.
Yeah.
And that might have been because Powder saw a cool shiny thing.
Yeah.
And we see Powder is smart and capable, just not as physically adept as Vi and her Droogs.
Right, because
And
she's much
a lot
younger.
Of shit for this.
Yes.
She's a lot of shit for this.
She does seem to be a little bit of a, Jinx.
Yeah. Things tend to go wrong when she's around.
Yeah, well, she's the typical young kid, you know. She's a little bit naive. She wants to run with the big kids, but isn't quite there yet.
Yep, and that's entirely what it is. It's not actually that she's Jinx. It's that one of the crew is in over their head.
Yeah.
Also, is much smarter than they are physically capable, and is very curious.
Yes. So they blow up Jace's apartment by accident.
Yeah.
And get chased through the streets by the enforcers until they get away. Well, this can't be let to stand. Some street rats from the lanes blow up a building? No, we need to crack down. Obviously, the enforcers need to crack down. What was this? What was in this apartment that they were after? This looks like Magitech. Jace, you're going before an inquisition, buddy.
But I was just doing research.
Yeah, forbidden research.
But it's cool. It's really cool.
Of course it's cool. Forbidden things are always cool and have amazing and unprecedented applications to make everyone's lives better, which we can't allow because then the poor people might get wrong ideas.
To be a little bit fair,
yeah,
their concerns are not just that. That is definitely part of it.
True.
That is definitely part of it.
Heimerdinger's concerns, but that's definitely some of those assholes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Like Heimerdinger, for those not aware, Heimerdinger is a race in League of Legends called the Yordle, which are basically Ewoks for most parts.
They look like fuzzy goblins to me.
They're sentient teddy bear goblin furball things. And essentially, they're extremely long-lived. So, like, they hint towards Heimerdinger's age, and we're talking, like, nearly centuries.
Yeah, he founded the city 300 years ago.
Yeah.
We have no idea how old he was when he did that.
Yeah. So he's been around a while, and he's always, like, he's one of those that always... Not begrudgingly, but he can't help himself almost. He keeps reminding people of that, everyone around him is children, and he knows what he's saying. Listen to him. Things take time. It's like, yeah, that's a great idea. We'll research that for the next 60 years. I'm sure it'll be great. And they're like, what?
That's the problem. Like, we see Heimerdinger does mean best, but he is both blind to the consequences of inaction and so conservative, not in like the political way, but in every other way, and hidebound that he can't see the potential or need for action.
Or even if he can see the potential, he's not willing to do so because in his own words, he's like, he's seen the damage that magic can do. He's seen a magic war in the past before. He doesn't ever want anything like that to happen again. So he's like, no, we're not touching magic, Magitech, or anything at all. It can't be controlled. Leave it alone. Now the problem is, we get a flashback that Jace is aware that magic does work because he had a run-in with a magic user when he was very young.
Who saved both him and his mother.
Yes. Which is where he got a hold of the original Magitech crystals in the first place and has been trying to figure them out ever since.
Yeah. So he gets pulled in front of the inquiry. Heimerdinger's direct.
They call it the council.
Yeah, they call it a council. Heimerdinger's direct subordinate, his sort of secretary, if you will, is a guy named Victor. Victor is gaunt. He's got a cane. Walks with an obvious limp. Does not look like a healthy guy. He is also sharp as fuck and is not afraid to cut corners if necessary. He sees this and instantly goes, wow, there's a lot of potential here. I bet I know how to make this work. I should probably track down Jace and make sure he doesn't do something dumb, like commit suicide after he gets banished from the academy. And then we need to break into Hammerdinger's office, steal all the equipment back, and then conduct the experiment properly.
And then once we succeed, Heimerdinger will look at it and go, "Oh fuck, you guys can do this. Cool. All right, I guess I'll let you do it."
The important part of this is they do attempt to break in and steal and they are for the most part successful, except they get caught. And I've forgotten her name again already.
Moderna.
Medarda, yep.
Medada.
Yeah.
So basically, Medada is another member of the ruling council. The council are all basically the heads of the major houses, major families in Piltover. Except Medada, who we find out later down the line is actually a daughter of the ruler of Noxus. So
Yep.
she's basically a foreign diplomat, but she's got a place on the council because of how important she is. And she's not an antagonist. She's not evil by any sense, but she's a snake.
Oh yeah.
She's absolutely a snake. She is a political creature through and through.
Yeah,
She understands politics and how to manipulate situations to her best, and is not afraid to do so.
Mm-hmm. And she actually absolutely sees the potential not only in Magitech but in Jace himself.
Yep.
Yes,
And
the disruptive qualities of Magitech, and how that disruption can be turned to her advantage.
yes.
Let's be fair; she is totally looking out for herself.
Oh no, she absolutely is.
yeah.
No, she very much is one of those sorts that she only does stuff that she think will be good that will be to her advantage, but she is also entirely willing to say, yes, this will also be to someone else's advantage, and that is actually better than just myself.
Yes.
Well, it's more that this would actually lead to somebody else's advantage too. How do I use that to get them on my side?
That's exactly right. Like, she is 100% motivated by how can this be good for me? But she's one of those people who can look at things and say, this is not a zero-sum game.
Yeah.
She is not a complete moron. She is very smart, actually. It's just she's primarily self-centered.
Yeah.
And as Eric said, she's a snake. She's just a generally non-malicious one.
She's
generally
a political creature, but is not
malicious.
She's not a malicious political creature.
Yeah.
She
won't dick you. She won't stab you in the back just because.
Right.
Yeah.
No, she'll stab you in the back
gonna...
if it's beneficial to her. Yes, she will. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes.
She also is willing to take a hit for greater for greater gain later on.
Oh, she's capable of looking. She's also someone who's capable of looking at the big picture and long-term stuff,
and also taking people along with her. She's not gonna like. At no point do we ever see a situation where she's about to cut Jace loose, like as a scapegoat for her to take his ideas and move on. It's like no. It's like it's his idea. It's his baby. I can't do this without him anyway. I'm not gonna like just take it all for myself and now I'm sole proprietor. No. It's like. We're all going together. I'm just riding the wave.
We're all going together. I'm just making sure you don't dash yourself on the rocks while riding the wave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's got a firm hand on the wheel, but it's definitely letting Jace make the big decisions when it comes to the actual research.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, and she genuinely likes Jace. It's just that, she would entirely, if necessary, she'd cut him loose.
Yeah.
But she'd rather not do that.
So what we see in is so she basically catches them breaking into the Heimerdinger's office. They're like, "Oh no, we this isn't our bedroom." Victor's amazing.
Victor's the best. Victor might be the best character of the show.
Yes, he's close.
And she's like, "No, it's clear you're looking to steal stuff for that magic thing that Jace is talking about. So why don't I distract the guards while you do what you can to prove it? I think I can get 15 minutes out of him."
Yeah, and Heimerdinger won't notice for a couple of days, so good luck.
Yeah.
So you got that long to figure out what you're doing. I hope you can pull it off because I'm really interested.
Yes. Meanwhile, down the lanes, we've got enforcers going, basically performing a crackdown, like full on like bad cop and worst cop crackdowns. Like people are getting kicked in the head, that kind of shit. And Vander is basically telling everyone to keep calm, it'll pass. Meanwhile, you have Vander's old droog Silco, who hates Vander, something fierce, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Both sensing weakness in Vander and having gotten his pet mad scientist to protect what is effectively super combat drugs friends on a go-go.
Yeah. Jeez.
It called Shimmer. You take it orally, you turn into a giant lumpy monster man for a while, and then there are side effects. But you're a giant lumpy monster man that is really fast and hits stupid hard.
This is not Dr. Mundo, by the way. Not yet.
I don't know.
No, it's not. No, yeah, it's basically it's Jekyll and Hyde. They have monster juice, basically monster serum.
Yeah, they've got monster juice.
Yeah.
So Silco's like pushing things in certain directions. He's being very sly about it though. He knows exactly what he's doing there.
Silco is such a fascinating villain.
Silco's an excellent.
Oh, he's a
villain.
wonderful villain.
Like he is hands down a villain. At no point is he anything other than an antagonist. But holy shit, is he a great antagonist?
Mm-hmm. The best thing about it is not without jumping to the end, but like everything he does is cold, ruthless, calculated. But he has one Achilles heel that ends up being his fault.
Like had some
and it's nothing to do with him as a a villainous businessman sort of situation.
Right. It should be noted that Silco is also a true believer in, for the independence of the lanes. Like, he's like, no,
he's a firm believer in.
Going to be kicked around. Like,
yep,
we should have our own sovereign.
Yes,
state.
with to be fair, with Silco in charge.
Oh yeah.
He's
the only man for the job. He's the only one with the vision.
Right, exactly. You have to remember
he came up with the name.
Yeah, he's I mean, he's absolutely a true believer, but he is also very much he's power hungry. Like, there's no question about that.
I mean, I think we find out that like the reason why Silco hates Vander so much is because there was an attempted revolt, an attempted revolution. They got their heads kicked in hard, and Vander brokered peace, and Silco didn't want that. And that's why he hates him so much, because he betrayed the dream. I think he probably would have followed Vander if Vander had stuck it out. Of course, that would have meant everyone was dead. They can't stand against Piltover. They've got the money, they've got the money and the guns.
Right. Yeah, the problem was that Vander saw the handwriting in the wall.
Yeah.
And was tired enough and burnt out enough to say, you know what? We can't keep going, or we'll just all end up dead.
He'd seen the consequences. He'd seen enough of the consequences of what's going on, and there was no. He couldn't see a chance at victory, so he's like, nope, can't do it. So he brokered her peace,
right?
And that's how we ended up with the
not very good deal that they had going. But it was as far as Vander could see, it was better than everyone dead.
Yeah.
And, probably. But, you understand why Silco's pissed.
Yeah. You understand why a lot of people are pissed.
Absolutely.
Silco has people that he's got your standard, like, I'm in it for the money thugs, but he's got his own true believers also.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, Silco is pushing things along. He gets his hook and the sheriff's deputy, Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
Gets his hooks in Marcus, who is, Jesus Christ, if there was ever a poster boy for all cops are bastards, it is Marcus.
My God,
Marcus. Marcus thinks he is so fucking clever, and he's not even in the conversation.
No.
Like, Marcus is a violent hothead who loves to throw his authority and weight around, doesn't know when to shut the fuck up, and totally takes bad deals and bribes, thinking he's getting one over on the dude who literally just got blackmail information on him.
It's amazing.
It's amazing how he stumbles right into Silco's hands without Silco even doing more than do you like money? Do you like an opportunity for promotion? Here you go.
Hey, I bet you like money. I do like money, and I will take bribes. I hadn't even offered yet. Okay.
Here are my standard rates.
How corrupt
Sure can
are
work out a
you?
payment plan.
Just how corrupt are you, Marcus?
Oh no, I'm a true believer. I'm doing the right thing for justice and law and order, and I might just be wetting my beak along the way.
The thing with Marcus is he's very much of the upper class mindset. He's like he doesn't care if Zon, well, the lanes, Silco wants to call it the nation of Zon. He doesn't care if the lanes break away and become its own sovereign nation. That'll be one less place that he has to worry about. He won't have to go to the lanes anymore.
He definitely cares because it's his job to rule over them with an iron fist.
No.
Who else is going to kick around?
Yeah, here's the big thing is he is utterly and absolutely convinced of his superiority over everyone in the lanes.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't realize that Silco is smarter than he is until it is way too late.
Yeah, he's one of those, like, the worst kind of sycophant. Everyone beneath him is beneath him, so to speak, and everyone in the upper city is above him, and he ass kisses and.
Well, not everyone, just the actual members of the council. He does not think the previous sheriff is better than he is. He thinks he thinks she's weak.
For a lot, goes behind her back.
Yeah, and he also does the same with Jace as well until he becomes a councilman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and it turns out the previous sheriff, whose name escapes me, she's great.
She's great.
Great.
Her voice actress, you have seen her and heard her in other things. She's that Indian woman with the smoky, gravelly voice that somehow manages to be both wise and sexy, and sounds like it should be coming out of your grandmother. I love that voice. That actress, she's great.
I think it's Sevica. Is the
No,
character?
Sevica's the henchman.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I believe her name is. Hang on a second. I just had it there a second ago. Is it Eve? No.
I can't remember the sheriff's name. She's great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too bad. I wish I could remember what. I looked it up earlier and I can't remember. Is it Grayson, maybe?
That does sound familiar.
Yeah, it's Grayson.
Yes,
Grayson.
great.
Sheriff Grayson. She's great.
Oh, she's Iranian, not
She's Iranian. Yeah.
not Indian. I thought she was Indian. That's my bad.
Yep.
I am a dumb. Sorry, guys.
She's Iranian. Either way, phenomenal voice actress.
Yeah, she's great.
Like, she just puts so much character to everything she does.
She's also do you know why I thought she was Indian? She plays the Indian councilman in The Expanse.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. She's great. And I really, really, really like Grace. Grayson was a great character who did not last as long as I would have liked to have lasted.
Yeah.
Just because I like the character. She's fun. She's a really she's a very well done tired old cop who really, really, really wants to. Feels like
That's where.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Sorry. That's where I recognised her. She's the admiral that offers Kirk a placing on the station when they're in Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew her voice from somewhere, and it was bugging me. And yeah, that's where.
So
she's also in Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first arc ends with things getting bad enough that Vi thinks the only way that because they're constantly looking for the people that robbed the apartment and blew it up. So Vi gets it in her head that the only way to make things better for the lane is to turn herself in. So she gets a message to the sheriff using Vander's channels to turn herself in. Vander figures it out, stops her. and is about to turn himself in as the sheriff shows up. It's like, I'm not arresting you. You have to. It's what's got to be done. I can't control the people down here any longer. Your guys are fucking up too much, and your guys are fucking everything up. They have every right to rise up. And that's when Silco makes his play and kills everyone in the room.
Pretty much, yeah.
He kills everyone in the room but Vander because he's got plans for Vander.
Because everyone but Vander and Marcus.
Well, Marcus is on his side.
Yes.
Marcus is his creature now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Silco sicks his prototype Lumpenstein on them. Yeah, which ends up killing everyone.
He kills both
Vander's
Grayson
friend.
and Benzo.
Yeah, Benzo is Vander's friend and sort of his lieutenant, and also another great character.
Oh, Benzo's
we
great.
didn't talk too much
Local
about.
fence and such, but we should keep moving.
Yeah, we should keep moving. So so that happens. Vander gets picked up, gets captured. Echo, also called Little Man, who we find out is Vi and Powder's friend, lets Vi out of the closet. Literally, she was stuffed in a closet to keep her safe.
To keep him from actually interfering what Vander was up to, basically.
Yeah. So she's like, right, I'm gonna go rally the troops. The troops being like, who two adopted siblings and distinctly not Powder.
It's like Powder, you're too young for this.
Powder, you're like 8, and every time you try to make a bomb, it doesn't work. So stay here because we're going up against the baddest bad man.
Yeah.
So
They had just got in a. They had just.
I'm
gotten in a-
only
in a bit-
12, and I'm picking up our adopted dad's fucking power fists to punch the crap out of things.
They were in a bit of a fight and an argument over the whole situation. Basically, it's the usual situation they do where their friends have got a bit of a mouth, and Powder overhears something that that she's a pest and a jinx and all that, and she's a liability. Gets upset and Vi just says, "Look, stay at home. You're upset. It's not safe. It's for the best. Just stay here."
Yeah. Like, we see a lot of we're totally glossing over all the relationship stuff between Vi and Powder, because
they do put a lot of information. Like they like, again, the
they're very close. Like, they clearly look up to each other in different ways. But at the same time, they very easily got on each other's nerves.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like
What siblings do.
Yeah, right.
But we see a lot of like their personality is developed really well in these the younger years sort of situation. We see Vi's how is it that you put it, Eric? Vi's almost as tough as you think she is.
Yeah.
That was me, but yeah.
Oh, it was you. Sorry.
Vi is nearly as tough as she thinks she is, but she's not.
Yeah, she's
quick to get in a fight. Tough as fucking nails.
Oh no, she's super tough. She just thinks she's tougher than she actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a line that's made in there about a bit later on about how Vi's fighting would be greatly improved if she changed her tactic of blocking with her face.
Yeah.
and then we also see Powder, who's she's always experimenting and throwing these little grenades that she's making herself, and they never quite work, but she's always tinkering with them and trying to improve them.
Mm-hmm.
And it also turns out she's an unbelievably dangerous shot.
Oh my god! Like, that's actually her best skill, at least in terms of like raw combat. Like,
yeah, if only someone to give her a gun.
Like, seriously, it's like, guys, you don't want her fighting; you want her shooting.
Yeah.
She's a shooter, guys.
One of the guys is making fun of her and like playing on like the arcade shooting game target practice thing, and she just takes the gun off him and basically perfects the entire course, and he's like, "Oh, all right, fine."
Yeah. The problem is there are kids from the lane, so guns aren't really an option.
Yeah.
They're not that. The skill's great, but getting hold of them is a little bit of an issue.
Yeah. Unless Powder can make one herself, and she doesn't have the knowledge to do that yet.
Yeah.
Not the yet. Knowledge or resources, which she will totally never get. Nope, not at all.
You know, I got connections. You know.
That will never happen later. Oh wait.
Nope.
Oh wait.
So the kids, Vi, Milo, and Clagger go to Silco's warehouse or I think it was an old cannery actually, because that's clearly where Vander was taken, and they were right. And someone was dumb enough to leave a window open, so they're able to sneak in and find Vander strapped to a chair. And oh shit, it's a trap. Of course, it's a fucking trap.
Yeah.
By the way, Silco is very smart.
Yes.
He also doesn't often make the mistake of like he's not smart to the point of arrogance.
Generally, no.
Yeah.
Like he takes into account contingencies, and he knows when to stop talking and when to leave.
Yeah.
When shit's about to turn, against him, he's like, no, okay, we're done. We're done here.
He still makes mistakes. He is not omnipotent. He is not omniscient.
But he doesn't make dumb mistakes.
Yeah. Like, he does not have all the information. Like, he does get blindsided, and he reacts accordingly when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Fight breaks out. Vi is doing the last man on the bridge thing while they try to break out Vander. And doing really well, because it's literally just a catwalk.
Yeah, it's
one access to the room via catwalk, and she just holds the catwalk.
It's literally the movie trope about martial arts, those sorts of fights. The reason because everyone comes at them one-on-one. Well, this happens here, but it's for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
It's literally a catwalk over a fucking wrecked warehouse.
Yeah.
And she's actually a very good pugilist.
And she's got goddamn, power fists.
Yeah,
not
Vander's...
like 40k power fists, more like Fallout power fists. But
I don't even think they're mechanized. It's literally just a grip with a big metal slab on the front.
I mean,
I thought they were mechanized. I thought they had a pneumatic piston.
They are somewhat powered. They are designed. They were built for mining, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
They are very much improvised weapons.
Yeah.
Basically, the magic gauntlets that Jace's mate was working on are basically designed to replace those to be safer and better tools. Also, because they're better for actually punching the fuck out of people. Who knew?
Yeah.
Yeah, Vander's basically been using them as improvised weapons. Like, they hang over his bar. Like, everyone knows you don't fuck with Vander, and when he reaches for those, you get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, you don't want Vander punching you without them, let alone with them.
Yeah.
So Vi's holding the bridge and kicking some ass, and Silco's getting more and more upset. Meanwhile, Powder has finally done two and two together, figured out the gemstones she nicked are incredibly unstable magical isotopes, and if you hit them hard enough, they explode. She rigs a monkey bomb with this. And that's a wind-up symbol monkey with those things in between the symbols.
He's like, I can make something explode now. I can help.
I can help. So she runs off to try to help out. Finds the same window they snuck in and is watching Vi hold the bridge. When Silco finally sticks Lumpenstein on
Vi.
On Vi, thank you. So Vi gets the shit knocked out of her briefly before she goes, "Oh, yep, time to go." Ducks into the door and locks it. It's one of those big steel doors that you see in machine shops to keep things from exploding or falling through them. So Lumpenstein has to spend time knocking the door down, which is when the monkey bomb goes in on its little mechanical wind-up feet. Lumpenstein's like, "What the fuck is that?" Silco sees it and goes, "What the fuck is that?" Silco's way across the other side of the room. Savika, who was Vander's second and is now Silco's second because, well, Vander showed way too much weakness, honestly.
Yeah.
Goes, "What the fuck is that?" The bomb goes off. The bomb is much bigger and much stronger than anyone anticipated, including Powder.
Especially Powder.
Yeah. Especially Powder.
See, Powder hasn't learned the whole measure twice, detonate once.
Yeah. Well, she's like
10, 8 or 10, somewhere in there.
she's 10, maybe a malnourished 12. It's hard to tell.
But she is very young and is smarter than she is educated.
Yeah.
God, do I know that feeling?
So this armored door goes blasted right off the hinges and kills Milo and Clagger. Like, pins Vi and...
Buries Vi under rubble, yeah.
Yeah, pins Vi under rubble and fucks up Vander. Lumpenstein survives, is knocked flat on his ass, but survives. This tells you everything you need to know about how badass Shimmer is.
Uh-huh.
And Silco doesn't get dead because Savika jumps in the way and loses an arm for her trouble. This becomes important later when she gets a kick-ass mecha arm.
That woman loses enough arms that I think she might be half Skywalker.
It's always the same arm, though, to be fair.
Well, it's the same arm with the Skywalker with Luke, too.
Yeah, it was
and Vader. It's the same goddamn arm.
3 of the 4 of his limbs.
Yeah, but they both, every Skywalker just about loses the same goddamn arm. Vader just lost other arms too, the other arm too.
So yeah. Vander fights Lumpenstein and wins, or is about to win when Silco just, you know what? Fighting fair is dumb. And literally shivs him in the back.
Yep. And he goes tumbling off into an area where there's plenty of shimmer.
There's a whole load of shimmer that's exploding and turning to fumes.
It's all in glass vials, and those glass vials shattered when Vander hit them and stabbed him in the back. And gee, I wonder what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we get shimmer fueled Vander for a while.
Well, it was told Lumpy he's moving in and is about to get a hold of Vi until you hear a huge boom behind him and the landing of much larger feet than Lumpy.
Yeah,
Vander is a bit of legitimately a monster.
Yeah, I mean he was probably Lumpenstein's size before getting shot full of.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. The kid they've been using the shimmer on was literally Vi's size.
Yeah.
Like the first fight we see Vi have is with this kid, and they, manipulate him into taking the shimmer until he's a addict.
So Lumpenstein Vander snaps the fucking snaps the kid's neck easily.
Yeah.
And Silco goes, right, time to go. Everything's about to explode. Literally everything's exploding around me. Time to go.
Someone picks Savika up.
Yeah. Someone picks up Savika. Them and Silco leave. Vander grabs Vi just as the place explodes and dies for his trouble.
Yep. But he saves Vi.
Powder comes running up and is like, hey, did you see? I did it. I helped. Holy crap, that bomb was awesome. Powder, you did this? Yeah, that was... Why is Vander dead? Oh, shit.
And then Vi does the one thing she really considers a major mistake in her life, pretty much.
Yeah, she hits Powder. I mean, all things considered, you can understand the reaction.
Oh yeah,
and she's like, shit, I just hit my little sister. I need to walk away. So she walks away. Powder is freaking out.
Well, she doesn't just hit her. She also basically tells her, yeah, you're Jinx. This is all your fault. You're terrible.
Yeah.
Because it's all heat of the moment. I'm like, our adopted dad just died.
Our dad's dead.
Our friends are all dead.
Exploded. Everyone's dead.
Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God.
On right in front of me. Oh shit, this is the wrong thing to do. I need to walk away.
Yeah. You walk away, calm down, and then Marcus basically grabs her and drags her off to prison.
Yeah. And then Marcus ethers her, because that's when Silco and what's left of his gang shows up. And he takes in Powder. Like, you'd think he's going to shiv her at first.
But he's overheard the argument, and he sees an opportunity. And so, thus begins the gaslighting.
Thus begins the gaslighting. And the end of
the first arc.
Yep. Jesus Christ, I've been at this for an hour. It's just
Yeah, we probably can't go over the full details, but the future stuff.
But that gives you a taste.
Yes. The important bit is that basically from there on we skip forward a whole bunch, and we are built into we've gone into the conflict, the ongoing conflict between the sort of Jace's sort of ascension up the ranks of the council and the introduction of Magitech, and Silco's sort of growing power base in the lanes, and the inevitable oncoming conflict that looks like it might be the lanes have an advantage unless Jace can unleash Magitech as an actual weapons suite.
Yeah.
Because the second he does that, it's game over.
So what happens is, I'm sorry, Jace's story arc in the first story tops off in the first arc with him basically getting his Magitech experiment to work directly in front of Heimerdinger, who kicks in the door with guards.
And then sees it working. He's like, oh.
And he sees it working. He sees them actually like harnessing a stable magical field and using it to teleport shit around the room. And he's like, huh.
Well, I was wrong.
All right. Well, I'm not too small a man to admit when I'm wrong. I might only be 2 feet tall, but
one thing I will say about Heimerdinger, to his credit, he's not stubborn and obstinate about it. He's going purely on what he thinks is for the best and what is likely. If you prove him wrong, he's happy to say he's wrong.
Yep.
To be fair, before he can spit out anything resembling an objection, that's when Councilwoman Moderna shows up behind him. It's like, hey, look at this really awesome thing. This is the future, isn't it? Heimerdinger's like, yeah, I think you're probably right.
He doesn't have a chance to talk himself into wanting to shut it down.
Yeah. Plus, he knows now that a council member's seen it and what it could mean. Like you said, we figured out teleportation, what that could mean for trade. Everyone else on the council are tradespeople.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's the only pure scientist.
Yep. And, he's also probably correctly, he's probably one of the ones who later on would be like, yeah, we shouldn't turn this into weapons, guys. That will not go anywhere good because then people will use them.
To be fair, neither are Jace or Victor.
Mm-hmm.
No one is pushing for weapons except Moderna.
And she manages to convince Jace at that point. But Victor's always like, hardcore, no, we do not use this for weapons. This is for peaceful applications only. Think of the fucking bad shit that would happen.
I mean, we see the scene that I mentioned earlier about them saying, oh, when Heimerdinger says, oh, yes, these are great ideas, we'll develop them over the next 6 decades or something like that. This was actually what Eric mentioned earlier about the advancements to mining gear that they were making, which, for those League of Legends fans, they become Vi's gauntlets and also Victor's laser, the laser on the mechanical third arm.
I did not know Victor ends up with a mechanical third arm.
Yes, he does. But yeah, these are not being designed as weapons. They are mining tools. They're aids to increase productivity and safety at the same time. Because they portray Jace, although he is upper class, he's middle upper class, kinda. As we said, his family, they're a respected family,
and they're well off. But they did that by making things.
Yeah, they're the makers, not the owners of the industry. They're well off because they make hammers. Very good hammers, but they make hammers. And, hence why Jace ends up with his hammer eventually. Yeah. But yeah, like I say, the intention was never, ever, ever to make weapons, and Victor is vehemently against it.
Yeah, he finds the entire idea personally offensive.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, basically things spiral out of control that Jace feels like he has to do something. So he starts basically weaponizing a few things, and eventually at the point he realizes, yeah, this is not going to go well. But yeah, during all of this, Caitlyn has joined the guards and is way too smart for her position.
She's basically being kept. She's basically being turned into a mushroom by her folks who want her nice and protected.
Yeah, Caitlyn is basically the daughter of an upper class family who sponsored Jace because, again, Jace wasn't part of a big enough family to to get access to the school and all the rest of it. So he was sponsored by a family with the seat of the council, who's Caitlyn's the daughter of, and you get a lot of interplay between those two. But yeah, she is very much the tomboy that's being absolutely groomed and protected by her mother to be the next, statesperson. You can't go and run out in the streets because you need to learn etiquette and all that bullshit. And she's having none of that. She wants to do something that actually gets herself involved in stuff, do things, contribute, not just sit in meetings all day. And as we get into the second arc, we find out she's joined the police. Except she's also that young rookie that's way above her station, wants to get into everything, investigate everything. Everyone else around her, they're soft cops. They live in a posh town where there's barely any actual trouble because the lanes don't come up here and we don't go down there. No one takes anything seriously. No one responds fast enough, but she does. She wants to investigate everything, explore every angle, do police work.
She wants to actually be an actual cop as opposed to,
Yeah.
Not to wear a uniform and...
the theoretical the theoretical ideal of what a cop should be.
Yes.
Not what a cop actually is. She wants to be an investigator. Because she's actually legit really smart and good at that shit.
Also, she has the obsessive mindset.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
No. See, what she should have done is she should have just become Columbo. She'd been much better off.
See, this is why she keeps getting in trouble, because she keeps getting told to leave it alone. Now, we find out that she's being told to leave it alone because it's Marcus doing his job for Silco.
Yeah.
Right.
But she won't leave it alone. Regardless of how many times she's told, she won't leave it alone.
We find out she has one other important skill. Mm-hmm. Boy, howdy, she's a good shot.
Yeah. Less of a we knew Powder was a good shot, as a pistolier and a rapid fire specialist. She is a pure marksman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Jinx is a gunslinger. Caitlyn is a sniper.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But so Caitlyn basically starts uncovering. Basically, she starts working and unraveling all of Silco's plot threads that leading into Piltover.
Mostly because...
So go on. Go ahead.
I was going to say, mostly only off the back of smuggling Shimmer into the city.
Yes. But she's like, you know what? She doesn't know what she's finding. She's like, I'm finding something is up. I'm going to keep investigating. I'm going to keep digging. Oh God, I know what she reminds me of now that I think about it.
What's that?
She's a non-drunkard Vimes.
She's a lot more personable than Vimes.
Well, yes, but I'm talking about in terms of how she approaches police work.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, she's definitely got that terrier quality, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
She will not stop. Yeah. She keeps digging, even when it's probably not a good idea. But yeah, so she eventually, she uncovers a bunch of stuff, but realizes that she can't get the police to take it seriously. She's like, well, we know there's one person who knows what's going on, that knows what some things that were happening in the lanes. I've that through my research, and they're locked up in the prison. Hey, Jace, buddy, can you sign this thing so I can get so I can interview somebody in the prison?
No, that's ridiculous. Why would I ever do that? You should stay at home and get and heal up.
Jace.
No, I'm not going to do that. Here, take this position. Here, take this piece of paper from my the desk that promotes you to be in charge of security in this super safe spot. Thanks. Yeah. I totally know how to forge that to do what I want to.
Bye.
What? Huh?
Yeah. So at this point, Madada has manipulated Jace to actually have a seat on the council.
Yep.
He's an actual official councilman with all the authority that it comes with. And he offers Caitlyn the position of, because she's still in shit with the police. But he offers her the position of basically head of his own private security.
And she's like, nah.
She's like, so this is basically a desk job. Well, not really. It's a desk job. I'm not taking this.
Yeah. Give me the paper.
But I'll take the paper.
Yeah.
I'm totally not going to use this to forge access to what I want. What? No, what? I didn't say anything.
Why would I say that? That's ridiculous. Who would say something like that?
Bye. Doop, 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 doop. And yeah, here's my paper signed by Counsel and Jace that allows me to interrogate this prisoner and have them let free if I really want.
And the guard's like, "Oh, that'd be great." Except he's laid up with a broken jaw, and like most of his other bones are broken. Why would that happen? Well, he ran into so and so. Who's so and so? I don't know. Someone who beat up a lot. You want to talk to her? Sure. It's Vi.
Yeah.
It's Vi, yeah. Yeah, Vi found out he's one of Silco's men and promptly beat the fuck out of him
Well,
with the dinner
she
tray.
recognized him from the fight in the
right
in the cannery.
Oh yeah.
And so Caitlin talks to her and finds out, hey, wait, you know some stuff. And wow, what you've been treated like shit in here. You don't deserve that bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's actually complete. So here's the fucked up thing. Like we see Jace like ether her and pull her into the shadows. Marcus, thank you. Yeah, it turns out what he did was he decided, you know what? I can't take care of it, kid. I'm just gonna stash her in the worst prison we have, and just doesn't need to be there officially. Yeah,
they scapegoat. They blame her for everything. I mean, yeah, she did. Yeah. She was the one that invaded and blew up the thing. Part of it at least. But he basically blamed everything on her. The trouble in the lanes, the explosions, everything was her fault.
Yep. So she goes through a lot of shit in prison.
Yeah, it's actually kind of disturbing the things they imply.
Yeah. Given that she was like a kid when she got in.
I mean, even when like Caitlin approaches the desk and says, here's the documents for Vi, and he's like, cool, so you're done with her. Do you want me and the boys to go down and have a word with her?
And she's like, no.
It's like what?
What? Why would I want that?
Oh, like, sorry, nothing.
How often do you guys do that? I don't think I ever bothered to keep track.
Oh my god! Right, we're letting her go.
Yeah.
Hi, Caitlin, you're free.
Being released into my custody. Let's go.
Can I just say as well again? It's kind of not spoilers. It's not in this show, but for those League of Legends fans that know that that Caitlin ends up being chief of police, can we have at least one episode where we see her reform all that shit? Because good God, unemployment's going to go up on that day.
Oh yeah, she is going to basically, and you're fired, and you're fired, and you're fired, and you're fired, and you're fired.
It will be a purge.
Yes,
because it's very clear she does not tolerate bullshit.
No.
And so yeah, how are you going to make us go away? You see this tough chick with power fists? Yeah, she's my right hand. Oh, hi, Vi.
So remember that chick that little girl you beat up daily in prison? I never. Oh, hi. I'm gonna just collect.
I'm going to collect my severance pay and leave. Bye.
Yeah. So Sergeant, yeah, I'm the captain now. She's my lieutenant. She outranks you.
Huh. Now that clanging noise is the brick I just shit.
Oh God, I want that episode.
But yeah.
So in any case, Vi and Caitlin end up going to the lanes to find out more about Silco. We have seen what happened to Powder. Powder is now gone full on Jinx.
Yep.
She's crazy pants. She's clearly crazy pants. Like full on like.
She is borderline dissociative at times.
Yeah, she goes. Yeah.
I mentioned this a couple of times, almost each time when we watch the second arc and the third arc, the way they portray Jinx as it's not cuckoo, it's not ha crazy, it's terrifyingly crazy. She's demented on a dangerous level. It's not,
it's fucking tragic, is what it is.
Oh, it is absolutely.
Yeah.
And and most of the reason she's dangerous isn't because she's, dissociative or anything like that. It's entirely because of how badly she's been gaslit by
Yeah.
by Silco.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
basically, she's been brainwashed, basically. Like
there's one like, but it's also it's like there's no. She doesn't have any regard really for, collateral damage, life.
Yeah.
It's not, again. It's not even malicious. It's just fun. It's just
Oh
her
no,
way
it's
of
definitely
being.
malicious.
Well-
Like she's definitely takes great pleasure in shooting the fuck out of people.
But
and
it's
causing
not
pain and
personal. It's
destruction.
never personal. It's targets in her range kind of thing. She's having fun.
it's occasionally personal.
Depending on who you are, yes. But like, there's one
Point
scene.
out the time that she like beat the fuck out of Savika, strung her up from the rafters, and
Yeah.
like painted her with fluorescent paint. Like that was definitely personal.
There was one little scene that like summed it up for me. That she's at the bar, and she's pressing the guy behind the bar, the barman, for information, and he is clearly shitting a brick.
Yeah, he's terrified.
Now she's playing with him. He doesn't know that, and as she leaves, she hints that she's left something for him. And we realise she basically, the grenades that she's now perfected have little teeth on them, so she can latch them onto things. And he realizes too late that he's got one on his back, and it detonates, and it's paint. And he just slumps to the floor in panic, in relief, because there's absolutely a 50-50 chance that could have been an actual explosive.
And that she has clearly done terrible things to people in that bar before.
Yes.
Yeah. There was no guarantee that she was fucking with him, and that was just paint. That could have been a bomb.
There are
No
very
problem.
few people she would not just off if she felt like it, is the long and short of it.
Yeah.
The list is
Silco-
basically Vi and Silco.
I don't think she'd off Savika either, because Savika falls under Silco's protection.
That's fair.
She knows how angry he would be if he offed Savika.
She would not off
she
Savika
off-
just because. You're right.
Yeah.
There would have to be a
Like,
reason for it.
She would need a good reason not to off Savika. Or she would need a good reason to off Savika to get away with it. Like,
But it's entirely not because of what she thinks, but because of what Silco thinks.
yeah.
Because she gives a
Silco's-
shit what Silco thinks.
Yeah, she cares about Silco. She loves him like a second dad. Or third dad, as the case may be.
And here's one of the most shocking and most fucked up things about the show. Silco genuinely cares for Jinx.
Yeah. He honestly loves her like a daughter.
Yeah.
It's a fucked up, twisted love where he broke her brain and turned into a murdering psychopath, but he does care about her for all that's worth, which isn't a lot.
Well, in the end, it's like I said earlier, it's literally his downfall.
Yeah.
Like his entire gang is saying, "Look, she's a liability. She's dangerous, and you can't see it." And his response is always, "It's fine. I'll control. I've got her under control."
Yeah, I've got her under control. Everything's fine. Don't sweat it.
And everyone's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" He's blind basically to her.
Yeah. And he does have something resembling control over her. It's just not nearly as much as everyone else wants.
Or is healthy enough for him, it turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But like they do the full gamut with Jinx. Like I say, she has her manic moments, her hoo ha ha. They are there, but it's purely the act. When you see her like on her own, with her own thoughts, with the quiet moments where she's just looking around.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, I know we've already mentioned like how much they've gone into the animation on this. Those the micro expressions and facial tics and reactions.
Well, it's just the stuff like that flashes into existence around her when she's having these conversations with herself.
It's implied that basically she's got the ghosts in air quotes of Milo and Clegger, or whatever his name was, Clanger, I don't know.
Yeah.
She's got dolls on her desk that look like them, like Stitch dolls. Their faces in neon highlight appear behind her when she's talking to herself. Like they did such a good job of not only like playing it up for the extreme psychosis that she's got, but also taking it extremely seriously. Like it's her mental condition is never played for laughs.
Yeah.
No,
Not once. Like even the ones that like speak behind her back and say, "Oh, Jinx, she's crazy." They're not saying that because it's to laugh at her. It's like, no, she's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And it's the show treats it like the tragedy that it is.
Yes.
Like this is a like the
But
shit they do. Jinx is holy shit.
I will also say they do a fairly good job most of the time of making it very clear that a lot of what she's doing isn't because she's crazy. Like these are choices she's making that they're bad choices, and they're due to like being given bad information and having been gaslit for years. But it's not because she's crazy and dissociative. That's just unfortunate other stuff around. That's
Yeah. She's like I say, she's. It's not so much that she's just like wild and thing. The craziness and the dissociation and all that sort of stuff is that allows her to do the weird and violent shit that she does. Her decisions, her choices, her motivations are all based on her own course of logic. She's also incredibly smart. She is a weapons expert. She's an engineer, an inventor, and they do. When Jace gets a hold of some of her technology, and even Victor starts pulling it apart, he's like, "Wow, this is actually really good shit." If this person had lived in the upper city, they'd have been in this school, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Victor's like, no, it's crude, but holy shit, is it good? Like, what could she have done if she had actual resources?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like it's like holy shit, like lost opportunities,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. But, I wonder if that's a commentary on something.
Gee, I don't know.
This is the thing. Jinx's ability is one thing, but her mental state is what makes her a threat.
Yes.
It makes her dangerous.
And we talk so much about Jinx because she really is the standout character, but and like, with the most depth and everything sort of ends up sort of revolving around her.
Yep.
Not to anyone's detriment.
No.
Honestly.
No.
The gravity of Jinx.
Yeah, she distorts a lot of the show around her largely.
Yeah.
But this is not to say anything like to take anything away from how well portrayed Vi and Caitlyn and Victor and Jace and Madara
fucking
and
Silco and
Silco, oh, they're all great. They're all great characters.
Yeah, that fucking Shadowrun cosplayer, gang leader, who is very much he's very much a one note character, but he's played well and like he does the job he needs to.
Yeah, well, but basically, going by the look of him and age-wise, I'd probably say he was relatively young when Silco came to power.
Yeah.
And basically, what's happened is Silco has installed not so much lieutenants, but they're in their own little minds. They're all it's kind of like
they're all gang leaders and shit, and Silco basically just brought them all to heel underneath him. Certainly with. More so than Vander ever did.
Yeah. But it's the usual situation where the gang leaders are always talking behind Silco's back about how weak he is, Jinx is a liability, blah blah blah. We should step in, we should take power.
And then Silco shows up and like does something dramatic and amazing, and everyone's like, "Yeah, okay, cool. We'll shut up now."
Right, he's a step ahead of us again.
He kingpins them, yeah. We do get a great scene out of that, though. Probably one of the standout scenes in the show, which just goes to show, like, Silco's mindset. I think we're kind of just bouncing around now, so it's not so much spoilers, but basically we have a confrontation as shit's kind of starting to hit the fan. Jinx has kind of gone a little bit AWOL. Vi's shown up again. They know... And it's what I think Eric said it earlier. Silco is a smart and intelligent individual and makes makes what he thinks are the right decisions and intelligence if he has all the information.
Right.
And there's two scenes where the one where he finds out where Vi is now back.
Because Safika comes and It's the sister. She's back. And Silco just swings around in his chair, utterly shocked and infuriated, like, from the fucking dead?
He thought she was dead. He's like,
Yeah.
I could have sworn she was dead.
And you can see his gears spinning in his head about what that means with Jinx.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that's not good. Oh, that's
That's
not
bad.
good.
Yeah. And then there's another one later where the gang leaders basically come into his office to confront him. And the entire time, like, he's been trying to this gang leader's been trying to sweet talk Savika. Because she turned on Vander back in the day because he was showing weakness. And now Silco's showing weakness. So, you know, maybe it's time that Silco stepped aside. And they can move in and make things better for everyone, mostly themselves.
Yeah.
And he's got this annoying. He's such like Eric said. He's such a Shadowrun character. He's there with his
His
mechanical
friggin',
jaw,
his gold-plated cyber jaw, like
tattoos everywhere,
tattoos everywhere,
gaudy leopard skin jacket, and flicking a gold lighter.
the fucking like chrome studs embedded in his scalp.
Yeah,
Like,
and
Finn,
he's there
his name's
sitting-
Finn, by the way.
Finn, yeah, and he's there.
okay.
He's there sitting in the chair across from Silco with a drink in his hand. And he's, and he's been talking to Savika, and it's all set up. And Savika's took a place behind Silco. And while they're talking, she deploys the hidden sword blade that's in her arm.
Yep.
And gets to the end of his speech, does Finn, and I can't remember the exact line, but it's something cheesy like, "We think it's time we cut you out."
Yeah, it's something like, "It's time to die, old man."
Yeah,
Time
and
to-
and
it's time to
Savika
cut you out.
leaps into action, sweeps her arm, and it's the whole fucking standoff thing. It's like she's there in the pose with her arm. She's made a strike. Everything's quiet.
We see the friggin' tumbler full of whiskey split in half and whiskey spill out.
Yeah,
And Silco's sort of head down on the table at the moment.
Yeah.
yeah. But and then Finn's head falls off.
Yeah.
But Silco's sort of
And still goes head down on the table in not in like a sense of like
The look on Silco's face is like he's looking there like he's not blinking. He's just out. He's got his head lowered a little bit, but he's just looking like, "Are we done?"
And he turns to the
Is
other one
that
and
it?
goes, "Yeah." And he turns to the other one and goes, I would have killed your kid for this kind of play, but seems we're caught up on that account. Get the fuck out." Because her kid died in the previous scene.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a
And-
moment because that's kind of important. But
Yeah.
The line Silco turns to Savika and is like, "So how close did you come?" For
Oh,
that,
not, and Savika's like, "Oh, not even close for slime like that. But there will be someone if you don't get your shit together."
yeah,
But yeah, it's very clear that Silco realized during that whole scene, it's like, yeah, I don't know how Savika's going to go at this moment. Shit.
yeah, yeah. It's a
Oh,
great
I
scene.
might have misplayed things. I don't
whole
think I
time
did,
Silco-
but there's a chance I did. Shit, I think it might be 50-50. Fuck.
And what I like about that is, like, Gav mentions, like, Silco's head is down on the table, but it's not like in the sense of like defeat or sorrow. He's just
It's resignation.
he's angry and sick of this shit.
Yep.
And he's about 5 seconds away from just pounding his forehead into the ink blotter on his desk.
Yeah, just like, God
And it's
fucking
like-
damn it, you idiots.
This is the last thing I need to fuck today. What the fuck do you guys? Cool. Just what I fucking needed. Thanks, guys.
Oh,
You know it's what I wanted.
and I don't know how Savika's going to go with this right now. Shit. I know why she's pissed off, and I get why she's pissed off.
These guys are chodes, though. Like,
God, you guys are idiots.
might though. They made a good enough offer. She might, but they're chodes.
Oh, she didn't go with. Oh, thank God. Okay. Oh, how close? Okay, because of him, it wasn't close. But yeah, okay, yeah, I gotta get shit in order. I agree because shit is not in order. Shit is very much not in order. God damn.
like I say, things are starting to fall apart. His production of Shimmer, we kind of forgot to mention that they've kind of refined Shimmer over the
Yes. during the time
The
skip.
cost. There's no huge giant monsters anymore. They've kind of refined it into you see people like with tubes and shit running through them, and like almost like glowing purple tattoos. Like they've got like a constant supply. It doesn't monster them out, but they're enhanced kind of situation.
Doesn't monster some of them out. Depends on how much you use it, from what I can tell.
Savika uses it. Savika uses it to power her arm. It's got all kinds of uses, but you don't see blob monsters walking around anymore.
Well, you still kind of do. Like you see the addicts who'd go all blob monster.
Yes,
but
there's a whole
undercity. You see the effects of Shimmer on the more casual users, like even Savika. You see like the black veins and scars in her neck and cheek.
Yeah.
Like every time she gets pissed off, those flare up bright purple.
Yeah,
and it's like
it's still not safe to use.
Yeah,
no.
It's still tearing you up. Not
it is
you to a
less bad now. It is merely less bad now.
But yeah, this is just literally the follow-on scene from like I say, we're jumping ahead now, but basically we've had the conflict between Vi and Jinx.
But basically the big important bit is that Vi managed to convince Jace to crack down on Shimmer because the council's decided not to act in the way you want. And everyone's talking about they're talking about maybe we have to do X, Y, but I agree with you. You're the only person who made any sense saying we have to do something. Here's something we can do. I know where Silco's factory is. We can go in and smash it the fuck up.
Well, the reason they can't move against Silco because they've no evidence tying him to Shimmer. He's just a businessman down in the lanes. But Shimmer's illegal, and we know where it's being supplied, so we could hit that. And Vi's like, yes, because that will severely hinder Silco.
Yeah, she convinces Jace to go down, and she borrows Jace's power fists, and Jace takes his hammer, and they go wreck shit. And they fight off against several several Shimmer enhanced goons in suits, and they wreck shit. And this is where Jace realizes, fuck, if it comes to war, we're going to wipe out the lanes. Yeah.
Magitech is far too powerful.
Fucking bloodbath, and it's not something I want to be a part of.
But the thing is that for a portion of that fight at the very least, you can see Jace is actually starting to enjoy himself.
Yes.
Yeah. I think he scares him the most, honestly.
He's beating up the monsters. He's got his hammer. It turns into a gun. And he's just blasting away and taking out monster after monster after monster. And then he hits a kid.
Well, one of the monsters is a kid.
Well, yeah.
That's the thing. He realizes, oh, shit. Oh, this is bad. All right. Yep. Right. Fuck. As usual, Victor was right. God damn it. I mean, we had to smashing up the factory is probably a good thing. It's just fuck. And so he offers Silco a deal later. He's like, look, you want independence? Fine. You can have it. And Silco's like, why are you making this deal? He's like, I need one thing. I need Jinx. We need someone to scapegoat. And Jinx is not just a scapegoat. She's a real fucking problem. You know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Silco's reaction isn't why are you giving me this deal. Silco's reaction is, oh, you had me going there, but you clearly blew your wad. You came in hard, and now you're making a play for peace. You blew your wad. You got nothing left. Now you're.
And James is like, no,
dude, no. I went down there. I was in the thick of it, and I saw firsthand what happens if we went to war, and you would all be dead.
If I was to give all our troops Magitech weapons, you all die.
Yeah.
It will not be a fight. So, in order to not commit genocide,
yeah,
you get what you want, but you have to give up something.
Yeah, I'm making this deal juicy for you because I don't want to slaughter you all.
Someone needs to hang. And it can't be you because you need to enforce the deal. So give me Jinx. She's at the root of all of this. Silco, for his response, is no, you can't. Her crimes are my crimes. She was acting under my orders. That doesn't matter. I need you to enforce the deal.
Yep.
Give me Jinx.
Which is a great parallel back to Vander and
Vi.
No, well, yeah, kind
Vander
of.
and Grayson.
Yeah.
Grayson, yeah, because Vander was trying to hand himself over, and Grayson's like, "No, we can't do that. You need to be here to keep the peace."
Yeah.
She was right.
But it's just a great little twist of irony that Silco becomes Vander.
Oh yeah, no, totally. And Silco's decision basically is, yeah, fuck it, everything can burn.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up Jinx. Unfortunately for him.
Yeah, it's not an easy decision for him.
No.
Like, we see him like sitting at the feet of a fountain with Vander's with a statue to Vander in it, made out of scrap metal. It's really interesting to look at, honestly.
Oh, it's great.
And he's sitting there, it's like, Jesus Christ, he gave me everything. He didn't even try to haggle. He just gave it all to me. And all I have to do is give it my daughter. Fuck, dude. Now I get it.
Yeah, he's like, shit. Now I understand Vander. Now I understand Vander. Fuck. Oh, shit. Unfortunately, this is when Vi makes her little play.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Silco. And probably for a lot for the general peace, actually.
For everybody, honestly.
Yeah.
For everybody.
It goes real bad. But yeah, we have the final scene where, Vi is trying, like, Jinx and Vi and Silco are all in a room together, and Jinx is basically trying to figure out who she is and who she's going to be. And it goes full tragic.
Yeah, she literally like she set out like this huge table with like places for Vander, which is like a doll or whatever in place. Her the two friends that died. Caitlyn,
who she's kidnapped.
She's kidnapped and now sees as a rival for
Vi's
affections. Vi herself is at one end of the table and Silco is at the other, and in between there's two chairs on either side, one for Powder, one for Jinx.
Yep. And she basically says, who am I going to be, Vi? It's pretty much your decision. And it's like, oh, that's bullshit. Yeah.
That whole scene is just masterfully done.
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic.
It's tense. You have no idea where anyone's going to jump during the whole thing.
No, you really don't.
It's occasionally funny in that uncomfortable laugh kind of way.
Yeah.
Oh, I made her a snack.
Oh God, that was so terrible. So well done, but so terrible.
Yeah, she comes out about like oh no, I've got Caitlyn right here. Comes out with a tray and a lid on it, and she's like, what did you do? What did you do?
I made her a snack.
Well, I went to visit your girlfriend, and I made her a snack.
And it actually is like a sandwich or something.
Yes.
A cupcake
Yeah.
or something.
I think it's actually a cupcake with the friggin' hex core on top.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And Jinx is like, "What? I'm crazy. I'm not that crazy."
I'm not a cannibal.
Yeah.
No, I'd murder Caitlyn, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, would I murder Caitlyn to get your affection back? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I've tried.
If I thought that would work, instead I'm going to make you murder Caitlyn to get my affection back.
Yeah, that doesn't go the way Jinx really wants it to go.
Yeah.
Because she fundamentally very much wants to have her sister back, but
Yeah.
she's so broken and gaslit at this point that
And delusional.
Yeah.
Like, not just gaslit, just outright delusional.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like even if she does like claim to become Powder and come back, like keeping an eye on her is a 24/7 job.
Well, even then, that we the audience know that's impossible. That is itself a delusion.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can't go home again.
no,
Yeah.
no, she needs a lot of therapy, and she's a very different person than she was before. Like,
Yeah.
but she needs a lot of therapy, a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
for a very long
we
time.
see one scene early on where she gets wounded, and she just takes a staple gun to her leg,
Yeah,
clothes and all. She staples her trousers to her leg.
Yeah.
To close the
To
wound.
be fair, I have done that. I just was not having a conversation with myself and cracking up from the endorphins like she was. It hurt. I just needed to do it to get to the hospital.
Christ, Eric.
Well, I mean, if you need to seal the wound long enough to get to the hospital, this was not long enough to get her to the hospital, though. This is not her going to the hospital. This is her solution, because, yeah, she ends up. I mean, this is sort of end of season spoilers, but yeah, she ends up killing Silico, and Silico's like, yeah, saw that coming.
Yep, Silco's like, yep, saw that coming, but no tears. You're perfect the way you are. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
No, it's very clear he's very proud of her, which is one of the
Yes.
most fucked up things in the show. It's like, oh my fucking god. At which point she basically blows up the council room at the end of the series.
Yes. She pulls out these sort of iconic shark rocket launcher,
Fish guts.
and
Loads the hex core into it
Yep, and fires, and
at the council room.
Yep.
And the beam is about to hit the council room, and that as they are voting to give the lanes independence. They have just voted to give the lanes independence.
Yeah, it's literally a unanimous vote, all but the signing of it.
And end of series.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I mean, we have glossed over a lot.
Of course, but
this thing.
it is
This
9
show's very
episodes
dense.
long. Each episode's 45 minutes.
And the show is
It's dense.
the show is dense.
I will say the other main plot point that I think is incredibly interesting is Victor.
Oh yeah. Oh, Victor
that is-
We
pursuing.
didn't even touch on Victor. We
No.
didn't touch on Moderna and her mother. We didn't touch on.
There's a lot that we didn't touch on, and we could be here for this. This
We
is
didn't
sort of
mention- Yeah, we didn't even mention Echo.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Well, like I said,
and one of the best animated things, one of the gorgeous things, is the fight between Echo and Jinx on the bridge.
yeah.
yes. But this is the thing. It's like we've covered the main event, so to speak. You know,
Yeah.
all the advertising going in, the main like imagery of the show is Jinx and Vi.
Yep.
That's the lead thing. Everything else there is great, but it's additional, but it's great.
And it
Like I
all
say,
it all plays into the main story also. Like it all
really
ties
does.
in.
Yeah.
But we can't go on forever. So
I would highly recommend watching it just alone for the shit with Victor.
oh god, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the shit with Victor
We
is so
we were
tragic.
not joking earlier when we said Victor's one of, if not the best character in the show. Like he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
He's got such a quick wit and comedic. Like
He's hilarious.
It's all gallows humor,
yeah.
but it's hilarious.
and gallows humor is the best kind of humor.
Eric wasn't joking when Moderna found them in the corridor and held up a light to them. He's like, "Oh, this isn't my bedroom."
But like, yeah, Victor is involved in one of the most tragic moments in the entire show. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my
And
god,
it's
it's so sad. It's like, oh,
Like speaking about themes, like one of the primary themes about the Piltover cast is about the entire show in general is just corruption. Like how what you want can twist and break you. Like we see that like
Well,
with
yeah, you said
Jace,
Jinx-
we see that with Vi as she becomes Vi becomes a brute. You see that with Jace as he's
He
trying
gets
to do the right
politically
thing,
corrupted,
and he gets corrupted politically. You see poor Victor and everything that happens
Physically.
with Victor. I'm not giving anything away with Victor.
Yeah. Well,
Just
like
watch it.
I said, just to keep the overarching themes, like you say, Jinx is mentally corrupted. Vi is more socially corrupted. Like I say, she becomes a straight up, like you say, a brute. Jace politically corrupted. Victor is physically corrupted. You know, there's all kinds of those themes running through it. I suppose morally it'd be best for Vi. She kind of just stops giving a shit.
Oh, she gives very much a shit just about exactly the wrong things.
Yeah.
All she cares about is taking down Silco and vengeance.
Yeah.
Yep.
And poor Victor is like wants to make everything better for everyone else and save himself in the process, and just sort of loses sight of what the cost is.
Yeah,
and that's all I'm going to say with that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
and that's a common theme for across the show is trying to do what you think is right and losing sight of the cost.
Yep. No, it's an excellent show.
Yeah.
So I guess we should probably move into final thoughts so we can wrap this up.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Right. So Gav, you then me then Eric, because it was Eric's pick, so he gets final thoughts.
Yep. Well, this is the thing. This show got so much hype, and because of what it is and what it's related to. The biggest problem I think it has is the fact that some people I think will avoid this because of what it's related to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not a League fan. I don't give a shit. Oh, it's super overhyped. Whatever. I don't care. This is such a worthwhile show to watch. It is the prettiest thing you will see. You can keep your fucking Demon Slayer and all that bullshit. This is the prettiest show you will ever watch, at least for the last 20 years.
It's up there.
Because it's got the time and effort.
I want to disagree, but I'm not sure I can.
Mm-hmm.
I can think of exactly one show I can make an argument for.
Mob Psycho.
Yep.
Mob Psycho comes the closest, yeah.
Yeah. And that's more to do with...
And Mob Psycho's not as pretty. It's just it's as well animated. It's as well animated.
It's the skill involved and how well it's directed and choreographed and put
how well
together.
It uses the medium.
And uses exactly. This is just straight out gorgeous on every level. Every freeze frame, every still shot is a painting in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no I'm sure there are hidden in there, but there's no animation tricks that I spotted. There's no stretches and wipes and elongations and exaggerations and all that kind of shit. It's like, it's basically it's almost live action done with a pencil. Well, I say pencil, computer, but you know what I mean. It is phenomenal to look at the very least. And as you said at the start, the writing, which would have been the letdown, but it's not, because everyone is a fully fleshed character. Even like Medarda. Her mother shows up for all of like 2 scenes.
It's a little bit longer than that, but yeah, it's like 3 or 4 scenes, but she's brilliantly done.
She's brilliantly done. I want more. I want to see more of her and why she's she's just enough intrigue to think, okay, give me that in season 2. Everyone's motivation, everyone's their inner thoughts. As I said, again, linking back to the animation, those micro expressions, and everything else going on in their minds. You see it all on their face.
Yep.
Even side characters that you barely see, they know how to bring in just long enough for you to care. Victor's assistant. That is all I'm going to say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But at the same time, amongst all that tragedy, and again, as I say, it's gallows humor, but they're able to throw in little bits of comedy, not as comic relief as such. It's not, here's something deliberate to laugh at. It's, here's something during all this that might get a laugh. Like, there's a great fight in the last couple of episodes between Vaya and Savika.
Mm-hmm.
In the bar.
Yep.
And they're kicking the shit out of each other. Like, mechanical fists versus mechanical fists. Throwing pool tables at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Until the action breaks for a second, where they're both completely fucking knackered for a second. And it's like, hang on a sec. You see him at the bar, like, Vi's having a drink. It cuts over to Savika, who's slumped against a wall until Vi's glass smashes against her face. She's like, hey! And then back to the fight. It's these little notes and little things they put in. The whole you can tell this is the thing, they've had the time to think about this the entire time.
Yep.
They haven't just gone, here's the written bit, and we're going to spend now 5 years and 10 months doing the animation.
Yep.
Like, they've taken care into the writing of the show as well.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely worth a watch. Don't be put off by the fact that you don't like League of Legends if that's the case. It is worth it.
Oh yeah, it's a good show. Yeah, it's a good show. I really enjoyed it. I'm very much the case in the camp of I hadn't watched. It's not. I hadn't. Not. I had. The reason I hadn't watched is just I hadn't gotten around to it. But I will admit there was a lot of I just don't give a shit about League of Legends, which is why I was like, I'll watch it at some point, but I'm not like super rushed to do it. It was sort of what it boiled down to. But it's a really good show. It's the writing's great, as we said, all that stuff. Like it's a really well done show. Is it the best show I've ever seen? Nah, I mean, but it's real close. It's one of the best shows I've seen recently. Mm-hmm. The level of fluidity of animation they pull off, given how complicated the designs of all the characters are, is astonishing, and that explains why it took them so long to make the show.
Yeah.
Like, as we're comparing it to Mob Psycho, like, Mob Psycho is a revelation because it is done on a sort semi-normal anime series release schedule. Which means it doesn't have 9 years to get the animation done. And the reason the animation looks so good is the line designs of the characters are fairly simple. So they can do insanely detailed animation without it being too much, being 8 years of work, literally. And so part of what's astonishing about like the animation in this show is what they're doing the animation with. Like, the fuck? It's brilliant. It's a really, really well done show. But I enjoyed it. It was really good. I recommend it. I can't go further than that just because I didn't enjoy it as much as I think some people will. It doesn't tick all my personal boxes. That's a personal preference thing, not a quality thing. So yeah, I really highly recommend checking it out because it's really good. Eric?
So this show's kind of a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, the writing's phenomenal. The character work is great. The animation is mind-boggling. There's no fat to trim, like on this. Like it is as lean a show as a show gets. I haven't seen a show this lean since Madoka Magica. Like, I don't know where you'd cut the fat on this.
Right.
And I can't get over the animation, honestly. Like, I'm not a big fan of most CG work, but this the show makes it's has like a painterly quality to everything. It's not afraid to work with different stylistic choices. Like sometimes like explosions, for example, are often done to look like standard cell animation, while like other things are very like almost like a watercolor, and other things look like regular CG, and it's manages to make it all blend together seamlessly while still being visually distinct. That is a hard thing to pull off.
Oh yeah.
Like, I have seen other things try. The only other one I've seen pull it off is Mob Psycho.
Yep.
Like, and like Peter said, Mob Psycho is done on like a comparative shoestring budget in like a week, in what amounts to a weekend compared to these guys, the amount of money and time these guys had.
Right.
So, but yeah, no, this is like, it's got excellent theming throughout the show. It's it never loses track of itself. It's just it's the best show of when did this come out? 2020? 2021? Best show of the year it came out. Easy.
Yeah. There's like I said, Mob Psycho is up there, but this is just on sheer technical quality alone.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, if it came out in the last 20 years, this is probably the best show of the year.
Yeah, and I'm going to be perfectly honest. Like, the show took a lot of money and took a lot of time, and it shows.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I think
But
Peter, I think you once described it as cinematic.
Yes, it is absolutely cinematic. Absolutely.
Like
I think for
fucking
that
DreamWorks
amount of
wishes they could put out shit this good.
Yeah.
I think for the amount of money and time investment, I think it had to be this good.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
If it
Yeah,
wasn't,
if
it'd been a
anything less,
letdown.
then it
Like,
would've
you know.
been- yeah.
Yeah.
If it was anything less, then it would have been considered a boondoggle. And a gigantic waste of money, and no one would ever invest in anything like this again.
Instead, we're getting a second season.
At some
Yeah.
point. Who knows when?
Take your time, guys. Do it.
Oh, yeah,
right.
do it right. Absolutely.
But yeah, no, that's that. Just go watch the show. Like seriously, just go watch it. Like we didn't talk about much about Victor because just watch the stuff for Victor. Just
Yeah,
watch Victor.
that's not-
We didn't
yeah,
talk
that-
a lot about Heimerdinger. We didn't even mention Echo. Like there's a lot of great stuff in here that we didn't even touch on.
Yep.
Like I said, the show's fucking dense.
Yep. Yep. So, yeah, that's Arcane. Decidedly 3 thumbs up, guys. Go watch if you haven't. Like, yeah, it's good. Real good. So, Gav, guess what?
Yep. Guess what? It's my go!
It's your turn to pick something. Yep.
It's your turn,
And
dude.
I haven't chosen anything yet, so...
Well, that's fortunate because we will not. We probably won't be able to get to it for a little while because it is the holiday season.
It's Christmas!
Thank you, Animal. So yeah,
Yeah, we're recording this on the 21st, so 4 days out from Told Crimbo.
yeah.
New Year's follows,
Yeah.
and then hangovers for the next 3 weeks.
We will not be back for a little while. Gav, you have time to actually pick a show, so don't worry about it. I was just being evil. But that's going to do it for this episode, folks. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed. We'll be back, as I said, in the new year at some point.
2023.
Yep.
At least.
Yes. We'll be back in. I can almost guarantee we will be back in 2023 at some point.
Yes. We will do this again soon.
Ish. But that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This was a lot of fun, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Bye, buddy.